And thank you for joining us. I'm Cassandra from the North London School of Sports Massage, and I'm joined here today by my friend Paul. And we are very excited to announce that we are kicking off a new series all about working with runners. Whether you have clients that are doing a couch to 5K, running or training for their first ever 10K, or avid marathon runners, we will hopefully have something in this series that will give you some helpful tips on spotting red flags before they become major issues with your clients. So over the next few episodes, we're going to be diving into common areas that we would be looking at working with runners, especially when we look at running and the repetitive stress that it puts on an individual's body. We'll be looking at those areas and treatment techniques that we can use with them. And also the importance of regular treatment that sits alongside their training, but also as part of their recovery program as well. So we're actually here joined by Paul, my good friend, who is an avid marathon runner, and he is here to discuss with us his journey into, or how he got into running. So Paul, if you don't mind, I'm going to interrogate you just a little bit. Can we just start off with a quick intro, how you got into running, and sort of give us a ballpark of where you started with the amount of running that you started with and where you are now?
I think historically, my involvement in sports and athletics was more in like team sports. So growing up, I'm Canadian, so I played ice hockey in the winter, and then also in the summer, I would play football. So I think there's like just generic cardio built in, but then in university I was looking at doing something else, and I think running just fit in quite easily because I could go for a 20-30 minute jog, and then get back to whatever I was doing.
In terms of load and your running, so where you started from, how does that look like to now what your load looks like on a weekly basis?
Yeah, so I think where I started from was honestly whenever I had time and I felt able to go for a run, I would go for the 20-30 minutes, maybe 45, maybe an hour. Whereas now I'm training for a spring marathon. So my peak weeks will be anywhere from 110 kilometers to 140 kilometers. And then that's kind of a run every day.
So I'd like to just gain a little bit more insight as well into your sort of injury history. And we're just going to do a brief overview of it for the purposes of the video at the moment. However, could you, Paul, give me just a brief highlight reel of any injuries that you have sort of sustained or reoccurring repetitive strain injuries that have cropped up over the last few years? Anything to note?
Yeah, so I think, the last 10 years that I've been running, it's been like various load on my body and various mileage depending on the week. So through that journey, I've had some Achilles tightness and problems, some tight calves. I think I've had some IT band issues that I've had to work through, as well as just like some lower back tightness.
In that list there, Paul, you've actually mentioned some really common issues I think we've come across in the treatment room with runners. And that's not only marathon runners, but also, like I mentioned before in our intro, with regards to clients that are coming in and are new to running as well. And one of the ones that stuck out to me was sort of the calf and Achilles issue that you had. I wanted to just dive into that a little bit more because I find that that's a really common area that we do treat with runners, and the IT band as well. So now in this series, we are going to be looking at some top tips and techniques that you can use with these individuals, and stuff that you can use directly onto the bed straight away in your clinic, and hopefully keep them at their optimum, support their training regime.